Welcome to Broadway A2E. I'm Rohini and you are watching me live. Guys, we are coming up every day with new things for your learning practices. And today you can see writing task 1 on your screens. We will discuss vocabulary that will help you to describe the new type of writing task 1 along with task 2. Okay, so let's start with today's session. Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon. Uh, Good afternoon. Okay, guys, राइटिंग टास्क 1 पहले मैंने जो आपको लास्ट वीक राइटिंग इसी वीक में एक हमने राइटिंग टास्क किया था दैट इज प्रोसेस. ओके, सो उसकी मैंने ब्रीफ थोड़ी सी इंफॉर्मेशन आपको पहले बताई थी कि प्रोसेस को परफॉर्म कैसे करते हैं. एंड टुडे यू कैन सी अनदर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टास्क 1 दैट इज मैप. Some of the students they have performed map before और कईयों ने नहीं किया है map. So for them let's start with the map, how to write it and some of the vocabulary for it. Okay, कि मैप को कैसे लिखना है, मैप के लिए vocabularies क्या होने चाहिए and how you can arrange your paragraphs while writing it. Okay, so first of all for map is basically a fourth type of task 1. Okay, जैसे data representation है, there are certain type of tasks in data representation like line graph, bar graph, pie chart, table, blend. Okay, similarly for manufacturing and for any for recycling there is process, flow chart, diagram. And similarly there is another part of task 1 that is for changes, for the development, that is map. Okay, so map में basically हमें changes बताने हैं and for that changes we can use certain type of vocabulary words. Okay, like for expanding, if something is it's expanding मतलब फैल रहा है या उसका जो range है वो बड़ा हो रहा है पहले के comparison में, of or something is removing from its place, like पहले कुछ और था उस जगह पर और अब उसकी जगह पे किसी और चीज को locate situate किया गया है, construct किया गया है. For some additions like something is not available at the place before but now it is there, so uske liye kuch extra add hua hai. And for something some changes. Okay, so uske liye there are some vocab words. For expanding sabse pehle enlarge, expanded, extended, made bigger and developed. Like suppose you can take an example of a residential area. Earlier, let's take an example. In year 1990, there was only two residents in a town. Okay, that means the level of development is low. But after 10 years, that means in 1990, there were only 2 residents, and after a decade, that means after a decade in 2000, the number of residential areas were enlarged. Okay, बहुत से buildings, apartments बन गए हैं वहाँ पे residential के लिए. So for such kind of change, you can use these words like expand, enlarge, expanded, extended, made bigger or developed. Okay, then for removing, demolished, knocked down, pulled down, removed, torn down or cut down. Basically the word cut down we use for trees. Okay, like suppose in the previous map, suppose दो map है आपको, map basically comparison के लिए होता है, तो यहाँ पे you will see in your exam you may get 2 maps, 3 different maps, or you may get 1 map also जहाँ पे आपको location और directions को ही explain करना है. Fine. So for removing, demolished, knocked down, pulled down, removed, torn down, cut down. Okay, then for addition, suppose if something is newly constructed, add हुआ है तो उसके लिए constructed, built, erected, introduced, added, planted and opened up. Planted is basically for trees. We do not use this word for any other thing. हम इसको plants के लिए use करते हैं. And opened up is for facilities. Like suppose in year 2010, shopping centers, 2 new shopping centers opened up. Okay, so that means ये facility है जो कि नई opened up हुई है. Okay, or you can say education center is opened up. Okay, so इस तरीके से depends कि किस तरह की चीज के बारे में आप बात कर रहे हो. If you are talking about the plants, तो उसके लिए we can use the word cut down if it is removed from the place, or if it is newly added at some area or at some site, so it is planted. Or suppose अगर facility है, so it's opened up. Okay, houses है, schools है, suppose airport है, it's constructed, built, erected, introduced, added. Okay, then for something changes into something means कि एक सेम डायरेक्शन में एक प्लेस पे कोई चीज पहले थी बट अब उस जगह पर कोई और चीज नहीं बनी. फॉर यू कैन टेक एन एग्जांपल, in the year 1990, there were a forest area at northwest side, but now that area has been converted or redeveloped or replaced or made into or modernized or renovated in uh, a public park. Okay, so इस तरीके से आप उस चेंज को जो किसी को रिमूव करके हुआ है वो आप बता सकते हैं. कन्वर्टेड, पहले वो चीज ऐसी थी और अब बदल कर ऐसी हो गई है. सो फॉर दोस चेंजेस इनटू समथिंग, कन्वर्टेड, redeveloped, replaced, made into, modernized and renovated. Okay, is it clear to all? These vocab words are quite important if you want to enhance the range of your task 1, mainly in terms of lexical resource. Lexical resource is basically a technical term that defines your vocabulary. Okay, so अगर आप चाहते हैं variations लेकर आना, अगर आप चाहते हैं अपने writing task 1 में different type of words को use करना, so these words are important and very easy to remember. आप बहुत इसमें कोई भी ऐसा वर्ड नहीं होगा जो मुश्किल है प्रोनाउंस करना, याद करना. इट्स वेरी इजी टू मेमोराइज दिस वर्ड. यू जस्ट ट्राई टू add use these words while writing or while practicing. Okay, then it will be very easy to remember it. Fine. Any question? This is for these vocab words are basically defines the changes, but there are some also other words that we can use in map, specifically in map only. हम दूसरे तरह के चार्ट में नहीं यूज करते. That is for the location. Any doubt guys in this type of vocabulary words that defines the changes? Damini, Om, Prince, Achlin, Gagan. Now next you can see vocabulary to describe sides and directions. Okay, like previously अभी just हमने किया changes को define करने के लिए, अब sides को define करने के लिए. See, this we mainly use these words in map only क्योंकि हमें directions बतानी है. Okay, so it's very important. It helps you to define your writing task in a better way. If you are not using this word, that means you are giving an incomplete information. तो आपका map जो है वो सही तरीके से define नहीं होगा because हम direction और location sides ही नहीं बता रहे. So for that you can use the direction of to define the sides of words like north, south, east and west. Okay, and make sure क्योंकि ये directions है तो ये हमेशा जिसका first word है ये capital letter में आएगा. Or otherwise you can also just use the word northeast. Suppose if something is located at top from west corner, so उसके लिए northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. Okay, then from, through, around. अब sides direction हमने बता दी. These are the directions. अब हमने sides बताने हैं. From, through, around, across, in, at, on. These are the prepositions. By, besides, next to. Next to means pass में. Near, close to and opposite. Okay, और भी वर्ड्स हैं, डिपेंड्स कि आप कैसे यूज कर रहे हैं. फ्रंट, कॉर्नर, बैक. फाइन, क्लियर टू ऑल? सी the reason why I'm discussing these things first, because जब अभी हम आगे जब task one करेंगे, if I will show you, if I directly show you the task one map, then it will be difficult for you to understand what I am talking about. Okay, अगर मैं आपको ऐसे ही normal vocabulary pronounce कर रही हूँ, orally बता रही हूँ, तो वो थोड़ा समझना difficult हो जाएगा. So that's why I'm showing these words to you in front of your screen so that you can memorize it. You can use it while practicing it. Okay, और अभी जब हम discuss भी करेंगे तो आपको समझने में भी easy रहेगा. Okay, all right, guys. Try to respond so that I come to know that you are getting information from my side. Om, clear है आपको? Prince आपको? And what about you, Sachin and Gagan? Okay. Now let's see the task one. कि क्या है basically task और किस तरह से map होता है. The structure, the criteria will be same. You have to write, you have to answer your task one while writing at least 150 words. It's a minimum requirement that is important to complete. And you have to spend 20 minutes on it, as we have only 1 hour to complete task one and task two both. So for that, we have bifurcated the time slot for task one and task two. Okay, for task one, we need to spend only 20 minutes. As such, जब हम लिखते हैं, so we can easily complete the task one in 15 minutes also. अगर वो इतना ज़्यादा complicated नहीं होता है, okay, because it's very easy to write task one. And moreover, if you are writing your task two, where you have to write 250 words and a time जितना आपको देना है, that is 40 minutes, including revision, okay, and planning. So in today's task, you can see the introduction. First of all, you have to paraphrase it while using the synonyms. Okay, the map below show the changes that took place in Frinton town in 1990 and 2012. So basically, this map gives you the information, the changes that has been taken place in a Fremont town. There is a town, Frinton town, in 1990 and 2012. Okay, so let's see the changes. Firstly, in Frinton 1990, this is the map that shows you the differences with 2012 Frinton town. Okay, so सबसे पहले हम देख लेते हैं कि 1990 में क्या changes है. अच्छा, एक चीज और, while writing the body paragraphs, you have two options. Either you can separately define the year 1990 in the BP1, and then in BP2 you can separately define the changes that has been taken place in 2012. Or otherwise, you can take both the years of Frinton 1990 and Frinton 2012. You can take both the maps together and make a comparison simultaneously. Okay, अब वो कैसे होगा? For that we have to count the changes first. हमने देखने की कितनी चीजें आपको given है. Okay, उनमें से कौन-कौन सी चीजें same है? That means which things are there in the map that remain same even after the passage of time. उसमें कोई change नहीं आया. And what are the changes that has been taken place? There might be some changes जो कि remove हो गए हैं. There may be something that is newly added. There may be something that changed into something, or maybe something will be there that is expanded in size. So it depends कि आप किस तरीके से अपना टास्क जो है डिफाइन करेंगे. But what I suggest you, I will always suggest you all to make a comparison. Okay, because without comparison, your task one looks very simple and easy. There will be no variation on it. So make sure कि आप कोशिश करें comparison करने की, because your examiner will always ask you to make a comparison wherever it is possible and it is genuine. Okay, और तो जितना comparison के साथ रहेगा उतना better होगा. Okay, either in terms of expansion, in terms of removing, अगर कुछ किसी चीज में बदल गया है या कोई चीज सेम भी रही है, so you can make a comparison. Okay, and then एक चीज और है यहाँ पर that I want to tell you. You can also give a brief note on it. लाइक जिस तरीके से आप डाटा रिप्रेजेंटेशन में ओवरव्यू देते हैं, यू कैन सिमिलरली गिव सम, you can give an overview here also, जहाँ पे आप कुछ major changes बता सकते हो. Major changes means those changes that are highlighting in the task. जैसे अब यहाँ पे हमें सबसे पहले तो rephrase करना है, ठीक है? Sachin, you can unmute your mic and paraphrase it. Maps. You can use some other word instead of using changes. You can use synonyms. What can be the replacement of changes? You can see, you can use the word replacement. No. Changes, variations, modifications. Okay. All right. This is the paraphrasal statement where she said that the rendered maps. Now, rendered means provided or given. Okay. The rendered maps illustrate. अब हमने maps के पीछे s use किया है because it's plural. There are two maps, so that's why we are not adding the s behind illustrate. Okay, the rendered maps illustrate the modification that has been taken place in the Frenton town in 1990 and 2012. Then the overview. Okay, अब overview के लिए we have to take a look on the charts. तो सबसे पहले you can see school is there. Okay, school is here also at the same place, so there is no change in it. Okay, playing fields with the trees, but here blocks and flats. That means it's changed into something जो हमने last vocab देखी. Then flats, there's no flats in 1990, but here in 2012 a new addition, flats, was constructed. Houses is there located at the north corner, at northeast corner, but here blocks of flat. Then supermarket is here. Here is a shop. That means it's a replacement. Okay, shops are converted into supermarkets. Then cinema is there in 2012, but here is a theater. Hospital is located. Hospital is there, but it enlarged in size. Bank is there, and bank replaced by restaurants. Then library is also located here. Trees, so trees are converted, or you can say trees are cut down, and techno park is constructed instead of it. Okay, high street, you can see the location of high street is located at the center of the town. It's center of the map, you can see, so it's located at the same place. So we got the overview. Okay, now what we can see from this chart, that major changes or many of the new things has been newly invented in year 2012 as compared to 19, because there are certain things that has been converted, either converted or changed, or some new things are added in 2012 that was not present before. Okay, I think you guys are getting it. समझ आ रहा है सभी को? Any doubts? Unmute your mic and respond. Okay. Om and Prince, you people are not responding. All right. Sorry. Okay. So try to speak. Try to speak when I ask you question. If I'm asking you your queries, so try to speak. Or if you get any doubt, if you have any doubt, then you can unmute your mic and you can ask a question. ठीक है, अब देखिए हमने एक ओवरव्यू ले लिया है. ओवरव्यू में हमने क्या नोटिस किया है कि बहुत सी चेंजेस जो हैं वो 2012 में हुई है, जो कि 1990 में या तो रिप्लेस या तो नई एडिशंस हैं या तो उनको इनलार्ज कर दिया गया इन साइज. फाइन. सो उसके बाद अब आपने बताना है अपना बॉडी पैराग्राफ 1 एंड बॉडी पैराग्राफ 2. ओके, नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस इट. सबसे पहले आपको स्टार्ट करना है. यू कैन यूज स्टार्टिंग स्टेटमेंट, यूज connectors. Okay, it's very important to use connectors and starting statement while writing task 1 and task 2. It helps you to give a chance to make a link between the information, and you can make your task more coherent. Okay, so firstly, for writing task 1, you can use some starting statements like it is apparent that, it is crystal clear, at the first glance it can be seen, or it expounds vividly, it can be observed. You can use any of the word, and then it can be observed. Okay, इसी में से हम कुछ word use कर लेते हैं. At the first glance, in year 1919 Frinton, there was a plain field with trees located at top of the map. To the north, at northwest side, there was a school. At northwest side or northwest direction, there was a school, and it was remained unchanged. Now I'm making a comparison, so just follow it. In year 1919 Frinton, there was a school, and it remained unchanged, or it remained same in year 2012. Now we have discussed playing field with trees and schools. ये दो चीजें हमने बता दी हैं. अब यहाँ पे instead of playing school, there was a block of flats. Okay, so you can say at the place of playing field with the trees, or you can say playing field with the trees was converted into block of flats after a period of time. However, hospital was located at the center of the town in 1990, or in the previous map. क्योंकि हम दो बार 1990 यूज कर चुके हैं, तो हमें हर तरह की जो रेपिटेशन है उसको अवॉइड करना है. So for that, you can say hospital was located at the center of town in the previous map, but the location was same. Okay, but हम बाद में लगाते हैं. The location was same in 2012, but it enlarged into size. but it enlarged into size. Library was located next to the hospital or near the hospital in both the given maps at same direction. Full stop. Now, if you guys are, noticing that I'm making a comparison between both the maps. मैं दोनों maps को एक साथ लेके चल रही हूँ. I'm taking both the maps simultaneously. Okay. उसके बाद, now what we have discussed, हमने ये part जो है, we have discussed the center part, half of the center part. We have discussed northeast side and northwest side. Northwest side only. Okay. We left with a bank. A bank रह गया है, so you can say it's a west side located at the west corner. So you can say bank की जगह पर restaurants आया है. Okay, so that means change into something. तो change into something के लिए हम कौन-कौन से words use कर सकते हैं? We can go upwards and you can see converted, redeveloped, replaced, made it to modernized and renovated. So we can use word modernized here. कोई भी use कर सकते हो आप. I'm choosing the word modernized. In the Frinton town 1990, it has been noticed that bank was located at west side of the map. It's a connector basically, whereas, however, we use these connector for making a comparison. While in 2012, restaurant was modernized at this place and replaced bank. Okay. So we have discussed this part. हमने इतना part discuss कर लिया है सारा. Now you can see, अभी आप चाहें तो you can change the body paragraph. Okay, आप second paragraph से start कर सकते हैं, और otherwise if you want आप parts में divide कर लो. Trees रह गए हैं तो trees की भी information आप complete दें, और उसके बाद आपका एक part जो है, like the left hand side of the street, high street, वो complete हो जाएगा. Okay, आप इस तरह से left hand side, right hand side भी use कर सकते हैं. There is no issue in it. So now trees cut down into technopark. So हम इसी तरीके से sentence को create कर सकते हैं. We can say in the previous map, the position of trees can be noticed at southwest direction, but after 12 years, ये 12 years का रहता है. Sorry, after 22 years. After 22 years, trees has been cut down and converted into technopark. Okay. BP1 is clear to you all. Damini, Om, Prince, Sachin, Gagan, is it clear? Okay. Now let's start with the BP2. Now in BP2, you can see we are left with the flats, blocks of flats, hotels and golf course, cinema, supermarket, and high street in 2012. However, but in 1919, high street was at the same place. Cafe and park was there. There is no location of flats. Only houses you can see at northeast side. Shops has been converted into supermarkets, and theater has been converted or changed into or modified into cinema. Okay, so by this way you can explain your BP2. So I can tell you one thing: map is very easy. Map is very easy to understand, to write. You just have to follow some good vocabulary, then it will be very easy to write, to manage your task one, mainly if you are writing map process. Okay, is it clear to all? Any doubt, any confusion? There's no need to write conclusion because we have already mentioned overview. It is important to write any of the key factor, that means any of the striking feature. Either you can write it while writing overview, and you can describe it in conclusion also. Okay, any question, any doubt, any confusion you guys have, you can ask me now. So as yesterday I have told you, I guide you some of the students who are not available yesterday. So I want to tell you one more time that now you have the form for your practices. Okay, I sent you the link yesterday, and some of the students have performed their task. I got your answers. Om, you were asking me yesterday that either I got your answers and not. Yes, I got all your answers. Okay. Damini, आपके भी मुझे सारे answers मिल गए थे. Okay. And बाकी students को भी I want to suggest you all that yesterday I sent you a link after the class. Okay. That is that link for the form where you can go, you can register yourself, you can fill that form and can perform your everyday's task on it. Okay, and then submit it so that I will get your homework. Okay, and similarly for task 1 and task 2, basically for your writing task, you need to send me your Word file. Okay. All right. So you have no doubts. Shall we move forward? See, task 2 is there now. 40 minutes is a time limit for you, and 250 word is a minimum recommend. It's minimum word limit. Okay, that means 250 words हम as such कैसे count करेंगे? We need to keep our introduction precise. Okay, do not add a lot of information into it. Just you can write only 30 to 35 words. Okay, just give a brief information about the task, about the features that you are going to discuss in the body paragraphs. Okay, and then in body paragraph you have to write around 70 to 80 words. That means 7 to 8 lines you have to write for both the paragraphs. Either you are writing 2 paragraphs or you are writing 3 paragraphs. Suppose if you are writing 3 paragraphs, then your limit, your weightage of paragraphs must be equal. Okay, and for conclusion, it would be okay if you are writing around 25 to 30 words into it. Okay, all right. Now let's start with the task 2. In task 2, in today's task 2, they are giving you a situation and a question. So basically, you can see a mixed spectrum type of question where you have 2 different questions and you have to answer that. Okay, this is another type of spectrum. Previously, we have discussed some of the other type of questions, some of the other type of tasks too, like agree, disagree, to what extent agree, disagree, problem and solutions, discuss both views and give your opinion, and advantages and disadvantages. Today, there is a question pattern. That means there's a mixed pattern. 2 different questions. Okay, that means 2 different paragraphs you have to write, and you have to discuss both these 2 questions in BP1 and BP2. Okay, so let's see क्या है question, क्या है situation. Nowadays, people get information through news and papers, comma, but meanwhile are uncertain about the truth of these news. Should we believe the journalists? What qualities should a good journalist or correspondent have? So this is the question. Okay, I want to ask you all to unmute your mic and tell me the meaning of this question first. I want to know you understood it, you understand it or not. Yes, you can read the question and tell me the meaning of it. What you are understanding from the statement. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. होती है like they are asking what quality should a good journalist or correspondent have? होनी चाहिए. Should, right? We use should for suggestions. So वो कह रहे हैं कि किस तरह की qualities होनी चाहिए. So basically in this question they are saying nowadays in the present or in this contemporary era, people are getting information through news and paper. Okay, so news and paper are the ultimate source to get information or to spread information among the people. So try to listen to me very carefully because I'm reading a question and at the same time I'm paraphrasing it. Okay, I'm repeating. वहाँ पे nowadays लिखा है. I'm replacing it and using the word contemporary era. You can use other words also. You can use in these days, in the present days, in the modern days, in the contemporary era. People get information through news and papers. That means news and papers are the ultimate source of information. It spread knowledge among the people. But meanwhile are uncertain about the truth of these news. However, they are not sure about the facts of these news or the information they are getting from news. Full stop. So, इतनी थी आपकी paraphrasing line. Now next is question. अब हमने question का answer करना है. So thesis क्या होगी? In this question, in this essay, I shall discuss whether we should believe the journalists or not, and some of the good characteristics or good features or features that is important to have in a good journalist. Okay. If you want, I am repeating this introduction again. You can see the essay plan. Your essay plan is in this essay. You shall discuss whether or not we should believe the journalist and also explain the characteristic of the journalist. So this will be the thesis. In not exactly this, but थोड़ी सी variations होंगी sentences में. So I can repeat the introduction for you people. If you are not getting it, then you try to understand it again. In this contemporary era, news and papers are the ultimate source of information that is spreading among the people. However, they are not sure about the news or the information they are getting from it. In this essay, I shall discuss whether or not we should believe the journalists and some of the good features or characteristics that is important to have in a good journalist or correspondent. Okay? Introduction clear है आप सभी को? Prince आपको clear है? Om? Now next is body paragraph. अब body paragraph देखिए, paragraph सबसे पहले DP1 में हमें लिखना है why we should believe the journalist. हमें journalists पे क्यों believe करना चाहिए. And then second में लिखेंगे what qualities of good journalist. जो second question है आपका. and then in the end paraphrase the thesis. Conclusion में हमने अपनी thesis statement को एक बार से दोबारा rephrase करना है, and last में एक suggestion देनी है. Okay, so for that सबसे पहले BP1 डिस्कस करते हैं. आप मुझे वन बाय वन अपने पॉइंट्स बताइए. Yes, Prince, you can unmute your mic first and tell me what you want to write in the BP1. Why we should believe the journalist. Yes, try to speak. Yes, any idea? Okay. Okay, आप ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि journalists are the ultimate way that help us to keep our self update with the news, right? यही है आपका key point. Okay. Latest news, fine. See, basically, he is right. Journalist plays a role, or they are the ultimate source for us. Without them, we are not able to get information. It's true. It's a fact. Without journalists, without correspondents, we are not able to get recent or updated news. So somehow we can say that journalists are the ultimate source for people, for journal people, to get up-to-date information. But at the same time, now understand this very carefully, but at the same time, there are many journalists or correspondents, they spread ill-founded news. Ill-founded news. Now, what is ill-founded news? Ill-founded news means baseless news. Those news, those information that has no authenticity, no accuracy, no reliability. Okay, are you getting me? फर्स्ट जो प्रिंस आपका स्टेटमेंट था, मैंने उसी को फर्दर कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया है कि जो जर्नलिस्ट्स होते हैं वो हमारे लिए एक अल्टीमेट सोर्स है इंफॉर्मेशन का. बिना जर्नलिस्ट के हम इंफॉर्मेशन, हम अप टू डेट इंफॉर्मेशन हमें नहीं मिल सकती. ओके, बट एट द सेम टाइम, बट उसी एट द सेम टाइम मीन्स एट द सेम प्लेस, ये भी कहना सही होगा, इट्स राइट टू से दैट देयर आर मेनी जर्नलिस्ट, बहुत से ऐसे जर्नलिस्ट हैं, दे स्प्रेड इल फाउंडेड न्यूज. वो झूठी खबरें फैलाते हैं, ऐसी खबरें फैलाते हैं जिसकी कोई ऑथेंटिसिटी नहीं है. दैट मींस यू कैन से द रूमर्स. ओके, बट रूमर्स, अब इसको एक सेंटेंस को कंप्लीट कर दो. दे स्प्रेड रूमर्स जस्ट टू सेल देयर न्यूज, देयर इंफॉर्मेशन और देयर पेपर. ठीक है, सिर्फ अपने न्यूज को सेल करने के लिए वो ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन को स्प्रेड करते हैं. ओके, अब उसके बाद हमने फिर आगे इंफॉर्मेशन क्या देनी है, add the connected again. But however लगा लो, however there is no doubt, or it is irrefutable, it is undeniable fact that journalists help us or help journal people. For people, you can use the word masses, duellers, multitude, citizen, individuals. There is no denying fact that correspondent helps to make a link between individuals and government. So if we talk, then if we talk and if we think about the fact that how journal public can interact with the government nowadays, so it is the journalist. It's a journalist, it's a media channels that help us to interact or to make a link between them. Okay, is it clear to all? So you can write all this information here in body paragraph 1. Firstly, we have discussed that they are the ultimate source of information. Without them, it is very difficult. It's very hard to get up to date knowledge. Okay, but then I use a connector where I give factual information that there are many journalists who spread ill-founded news and rumors to gain profit and just for the sake of selling their newspapers. Full stop. There's a no denying fact that journalists and correspondents help an individual to link between them and government. They make a good relationship between the citizens and the higher authorities. They play a vital role to give opinion to our ideas. Okay, or to give a shape, to give new shape to our ideas. Then body paragraph 2. अब BP 1 में हमने डिस्कस कर लिया है कि हमें जर्नलिस्ट पे बिलीव करना है और नहीं करना. ओके, नाउ इन बॉडी पैराग्राफ 2, क्वालिटीज ऑफ गुड जर्नलिस्ट. अब एक अच्छे जर्नलिस्ट की क्या क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए? ओके, यस ओम, unmute your mic and tell me what qualities do you think a good journalist should have? But you watch television, I think you watch news. So what you have observed, what type of qualities do you think a journalist must have? No idea? Yes, Prince, you are saying something. Okay. Okay, yes. Communication skills, it's very important. See, for a good journalist and for a good correspondent, it's very important to have a good skills, good communication skills. Okay, their interpersonal skills must have, so that they can interact, they can communicate with the people with a good fluency. It's not only about one certain language, they must be flexible with the language. Like we notice, we have observed many times that journalists who are giving you information, uh, they gives you information in many languages, like basically in the native language and in the English language. So they must have a good command, good control over the language. They must have good communication skills. They must have a flexible knowledge as well. अब हम देखते हैं आज तक पे या कोई भी न्यू मीडिया चैनल है, टाइम्स नाउ, इंडिया टुडे, you see they gives you so many information in a certain period of time. Like a 10 minutes ka 5 minutes ka time slot hota hai, where it gives you information of all the basic happenings, day-to-day happenings, or the knowledge, the things that is prevailing in the society. तो वो सारी चीजें आपको बताते हैं. They gives you information about entertainment, they gives you information about sports, about business, about politics, about society. Okay, so this is the flexibility. They should have flexible knowledge. They must have a versatility. Okay, then you can say a good journalist should be, sorry, what is that? आप क्या कह रहे हो? It's not clear. You can speak again. What is that? Explain it. What is it? I'm saying explain कीजिए. Yes. I'm not getting you. Like, you can explain whatever you are saying in define it. What is it? Purity, like, किस तरह से? Or you're trying to say they should be unbiased? So I told you they must have a flexible knowledge. Flexibility तो वही होती है ना कि नई नई चीजों के बारे में पता होना. Curiosity, it's not like कि आप curiosity word use कर रहे हो. Are you using this word curiosity? Okay, then you are using a wrong pronunciation. That's why I'm not able to get you. It's curiosity. Curiosity होती है उत्सुकता. ओके, हम यहाँ क्यूरियोसिटी वर्ड नहीं यूज कर सकते. हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिया है कि उनकी फ्लेक्सिबल नॉलेज होनी चाहिए एंड लाइक दे शुड बी. हाँ, हम ये जरूर कह सकते हैं कि a good journalist should always be available for in whatever the situation. They should deal it with fearless attitude. Like उनको किसी भी चीज से like हम कह सकते हैं कि फेयर नहीं होना चाहिए माइंड में किसी भी सिचुएशन को डील करने के लिए. बिकॉज वी ऑल नो दैट जर्नलिज्म एंड जर्नलिस्ट being a journalist, it's very difficult to cope up with the situation. They have to go through the many difficult phase. So it is important to be confident, to keep a fearless attitude while reporting. And one more thing, they should not be bad. Yes, हाँ जी बताइए. Yes, loyalty, it's very important, but we will not directly use the word loyalty. We say they will not be they should be unbiased. Unbiased means उनको किसी के साथ किसी के partial नहीं होना चाहिए. Unbiased का मतलब है कि उनको सबके साथ एक जैसा रहना चाहिए. They should not be unbiased towards any particular political party. They should not be biased with any region, any religious. किसी के साथ भी उनको bias नहीं होना चाहिए. They should not spread the false rumors. They should give accurate and authentic and reliable information to the people. So these are the qualities. We have discussed some important qualities that it is important to have while reporting for a good journalist. Yes. किसी का कोई ओपिनियन है तो आप डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. If you have your opinion towards it, then you can discuss, you can share with others. So whatever I have discussed in the both paragraphs, is it clear to you all? Okay, and what about the others? All right, now we left with the conclusion. So in conclusion, अब अपने एक बार पैराफ्रेज करोगे अपनी थीसिस को. तो थीसिस में हमने ऊपर क्या डिस्कस किया था? हमने एक जर्नल से ही लाइन बोली थी that we should discuss that whether we should believe them or not. तो वो हम अब BP2 में डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. तो अब यहाँ क्या लिखेंगे? आप यहाँ पे इसको इस तरीके से लिख सकते हैं. We should discuss, we should believe the journalist because they plays a very important role in the society. They act as a middleman between the people and government. But a good journalist should not spread rumors. They should work for the well-being of citizens and community. So this will be your conclusion as for this today's task 2. क्लियर है सभी को? I hope introduction, both the paragraphs and conclusion is clear to you all. This task is easy to understand. Okay. Om, you were saying that you do not have any knowledge about journalists, but now I think you get the information. You know, आपको जब ये टॉपिक आएगा तो आपने क्या लिखना है. Basically, I get this task is based on media. Okay, there are certain type of topic in your uh, essay writing, like media and crime, technology, education, environment, tourism, advertisements, globalization, GM food. So media is one of it. Okay. So I hope today's task is clear to you all. If you have still any doubt, any confusion, then you can ask me, guys. Again, I'm asking you in any of the module, either in task 1, in task 2, you can have, if you have any doubt, then you can ask. No doubts? Fine, then this will be your homework. Okay. uh, just after few minutes I will send this PDF to you. Okay, so you can write this task in your Word file and send it to me. Okay,